Hey lovelies, it's Imogen aka missimoinsane. Welcome to my video. So I decided to revert back to the A6 and I couldn't make my mind up whether I wanted another Rhodia or if I wanted to give the Leuchtturm1917 a try in the A6 since I've got it in the A5. I couldn't find any just comparisons on just these two. There were so many comparisons on so many different notebooks, stacks of notebooks, these two probably plus a load more, and I just kind of wanted to know these two. So I'm in the UK, I thought I would do a review slash sort of unboxing thing. So first of all, where do we start? They're both A6. You can tell already that they're different. So we have the Leuchtturm, which has 185 pages compared to the Rhodia that has 192 pages. So already we have a few more pages in the Rhodia. Then also we have the size. So while the internal dot grid measurements are the same, I believe it's something like 17 by 24. I don't know if it even says it somewhere. But if you've ever had an A6, I will actually count the dots for you and put that on the screen so we know the exact measurements. So the dot grid itself is the same, however you get a slight more room at the top of the Leuchtturm and a slight more room at the bottom of the Leuchtturm, which can make a bit of difference if you need that little extra space. The Leuchtturm is a centimetre taller. So the Leuchtturm is 150 millimetres, which is 15 centimetres tall, whereas the Rhodia is 140 millimetres, so 14 centimetres tall. So you get an additional centimetre in this. That said, the width of them is both 90 millimetres or 9 centimetres. However, when you stack them together, because of the roundedness of the Rhodia spine, the Rhodia does look a little bit wider. And you can tell it is that little bit taller and also that little bit thicker. Okay, the paper itself, and this is what we're gonna, one of the main things it boils down to, really, doesn't it? So I've got them both in dot grid, and the Rhodia is a 90-gram ivory brushed vellum paper by Claire Fontaine. So compared to the Leuchtturm, where the paper, I don't believe it actually says on it, but I happen to know that it's only an 80 grams, so it's a thinner paper. It is an off-white, but it's not as creamy as this one, and you will see when I open them. So without further ado, I should probably... So the Rhodia used to come with a big orange band on it. Rhodia was originally in sort of black and orange, that was kind of their colours. They do now do multiple colours in the Rhodia. However, the inside page, these pages, and this string, and I believe also the elastic, is orange. So you can get it in pink and blue and green and a few other colours. However, the accent colour is orange. The orange one, I believe, has accent colours of black, and the black one is just black. So the feel of this is kind of like it's almost kind of a leathery, and it also has this debossed big ugly Rhodia logo smack in the middle. But if you took a sticker of some sorts, you could cover that up and make it look prettier if that was something that you were into. As you saw, it's black on the inside cover. You only get one bookmark, which I believe I just called a string. And then you onto the first page. These two pages are sort of together, but it is branded with, like, it says the quality of the paper down the front there. So as you can see, it's kind of a very, very creamy colour. It's pretty. It doesn't have an index or a contents, and it doesn't have page numbers. This has an index. It also has the page numbers. So you could go along and number all of these pages if you want, but as I said, there's 192 pages. I have painfully done that twice before. And also when you open this, it doesn't sit flat. It after you put it flat, you would need to get some clips or try and train it to sit flat. And then in the back we also have more of that black, and we do have a pocket, and the pocket is black. So very much similar to the Leuchtturm in that sense, just that the colour is a bit different. Now, I don't want to scuff up my pages, so let's see if I can get a start. I should also mention the price difference in that at this time when I've purchased these both on eBay UK, this one was £8 and something, this one was £11 and something. So the Leuchtturm is, I think, you're more paying for a name. But, so we have this paper, take that off as well. So already this feels like the hard cover of any Leuchtturm. If you've had a Leuchtturm before, you will know that this hardcover feeling compared to sort of like this. It's a hardcover. You can also get them in soft covers, but it's kind of leathery. This doesn't have the big ugly logo in the back, in the front, but on the back it does have the tiny debossed. So it's not a big a deal as this big ugly Rhodia. So if you didn't want to put something on here, I mean I will, but if you didn't want to, you didn't have to, and you don't have this big ugly embossed or debossed logo. The Leuchtturm, as always, comes with a certificate of authentication, and it also has like a little thank you for purchasing this and some information on the other paper sizes. There's the certificate of authentication. And then in the front here, we have some branding, and we have a place for our name and address and contact details. And unlike this, where you actually have like a blank page to start you, and then this page, then you get into it. Next up, we have this kind of loose leaf. We have this kind of leaf, it's not a loose one. Then we have the contents, or index, whatever you want to call it. I like to cover this up, so I will be masking over these and covering them up. You can create a key page here, and then page 1, and all the pages are numbered. As with most, they do sit flat. You may have to train it a little bit, but they do sit flat. And then in the back we have our labels for archiving, which are sticker labels, and you get two different kinds of, well, two spinal labels. You get a big plain one, and you get this little lined one, and then it has the Leuchtturm logo underneath, which is fine. Again, we have Leuchtturm branding in the back page here, and also here. These back few pages, I believe, are perforated, as in most others. Don't know how well you can see that little line there, but you get, I think it's like 8 perforated pages in the back, I believe. And then, like with the Rhodia, you have a pocket, only this one isn't black. It is, and this is much more of a whiter, creamier colour. And then with this one, you get 2 bookmarks. So there's a black one and also a black and grey one. And I have a video tutorial which I'll put below on how to add more ribbons, or how to add ribbons if you don't have them and want permanent ribbon bookmarks like this. I did a video on that. So let's show you the paper colour, and I'm hoping you can pick this up. But while the Leuchtturm is not white at all, it's definitely not white. Let me see if I can find some white paper. There we go. Okay, you can see like the Leuchtturm is not white, but the Rhodia is definitely not white, and it is a much more creamier yellowy colour than the Leuchtturm, which when you're using it I don't think you really notice. And if you want a white, I believe you have to go maybe Scribbles or somebody like that. I think there's a white, but here in the UK for a pocket Scribbles they are like £25, and I can only find them in teal, which isn't bad. And I kind of wish I got this in emerald, but I'm going to go with the Leuchtturm The Rhodia I will find a use for, or gift or donate or something. Maybe, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the Rhodia yet, but I'm definitely going to use this, and I'm hoping that I can get 6 months out of each one. Being that we are now the end of August, I'm hoping to get the end of August to December, and I will have some extra pages, but that's fine by me. And then in December I'm hoping to do through to June, and then July to December, and do 6 months, which then, if I had to carry around 2 of these, let's pretend it's that thickness, it'll probably be a bit more thick by the time I have added and stuck stuff in and all that kind of jazz. But I'm thinking 2 like that, 2 of them, carrying 2 around a year by sort of half the year would not be terrible, and then I can just take the one if I just need the one. So that's my plan, that's my thoughts, and I am going to cut these ribbons down a little bit, and I think I am going to add a 3rd ribbon to this, and archiving and what have you. So I hope that answers some questions between the 2 comparison what they are like videos, or video of what the 2 are like, and perhaps maybe answer some questions. I mean, this is definitely a good option and a good choice, and it's my first option that I chose when I was just getting into bullet journaling, because it was like £8, and I was like, £8 isn't 11-12 when you're starting out. As said, once you actually get into it, you don't really notice the colours and the grids inside them. I don't know if you noticed when I did the page colour comparison, but the dot grids inside them, if you look at the dots and count them, they are the same. So they are both 5mm spacing between the dots, or the dot grid, and they line up with each other. So yeah, and you can of course also buy the Leuchtturm stick-in elastic tab things for your pens, and they will of course stick in either of these. And I found them on AliExpress. You can actually get some for, I think I spent like £2.50, and I got 4 of them. So they're like obviously a knockoff version, and they probably won't stick all that great. But I got them, they're coming in the post, and we'll see how that goes. Also, one final thing to note, also because of the fabric-y kind of leathery sort of feel, this does indentate into here. I don't know if that'll bother people. It bothered me at first, but I got used to it, and then I was okay with it. And then this doesn't so much, or at least on my A5. There's sort of like a slight tiny mark in here, but nothing really upsetting. And then again, if you look at the backs of them, yeah. So already this is a much thicker book, just because it is that 10 gram thicker paper, and you also do get, I think it was like 10 pages more, something like that, or however many pages more it was. So thank you for watching, and I hope somebody found this helpful and useful and enjoyed this video. And I will be putting out a setup video of sorts with this. So if that's something you're interested in, I will make, or I have made a playlist of everything that is planner related or bullet journal related that I've done, something like that. And I will obviously put a link to that in the description as well. So thank you for watching, and have a fantastic remainder of your summer.